Welcome back to Midwest Farm Weekly. Corey Geiger is here. If you know his name or his face, that's because he's everywhere. He's the managing editor of Hoard's Dairymen. He's also the 6th generation to manage his family farm. He serves as the current president of Holstein USA and is on the World Dairy Expo board. I think what all of that means is you have your pulse on a few things. Good morning.
Good morning, Melaine. Glad to be here.
You know, we just had USDA Secretary Tom Vilsack visit Wisconsin. He spoke a lot about a lot of different topics, but what was your big takeaway from his visit?
Well, he was actually pretty close to our office down in Fort Atkinson for Hoard's Dairymen, but one of the big things, there were a couple of things that were takeaways, of course, but one of the things on the mind of dairy farmers right now are federal milk marketing orders, and part of that relates to Class 1 milk, which is the beverage milk that we drink, and our dairy markets have really changed. We're producing more and more cheese. That's a big thing in Wisconsin, of course, in the upper Midwest, and we're exporting more dairy products. So how that all fits together and encourages pricing is one of the questions. And then we had this thing that most people hadn't heard of before, was negative producer price differentials. So Secretary Vilsack's message to the dairy industry was get together and figure this out. If you want to reform milk pricing, and figure that out means dairy farmers, it means processors, it means everybody in between, because federal legislators don't want to dictate that. They don't want to pit a Wisconsin versus a Vermont versus
because there's
California.
different priorities in different states, right?
Because we're a big cheese area. The Northeast would be a big fluid milk area. In California and the state of Washington would be big powdered milk and a big export market area. So that was one of the takeaways. And then the other thing here, Dairy Margin Coverage Program, that's the signature insurance product that wasn't part of the last farm bill, and they did some tweaks to that. They made premium alfalfa hay the major part of the forage component along, and there's other parts of that formula, so that'll change that pricing factor. And they were delayed in allowing sign-ups for 2022. So the sign-up period began December 15th. They just announced that, and it'll run through February 18th. I think if farmers haven't signed up for it for the coming year, it's a really good product that you should highly consider signing up for.
And if you've maybe looked at it in the past, take a second look because of the changes.
Yeah.
Now, we're looking at a picture of very familiar cheese here, but the shelf that it's on is in a completely different place than expected. You just returned from Dubai. Talk a bit about this trip.
Yeah, and there's a lot of neat pictures there, and it would almost been walking down the Wisconsin grocery aisle. Dubai is part of the United Arab Emirates. There's 7 Emirates. 6 of the Emirates sell a lot of oil. It's the Middle East. This, where Dubai is located, is more of a business center. A lot of people from around the world come there to work in the Middle East, and they like their cheese. And actually their tradition in the Middle East would be drinking camel's milk. Now, I've done that once with dates in it. I'm not sure I'm ready to run and grab a second one. But this market here, when it comes to cheese, has doubled during the pandemic. That's incredible when you think about it. And it's a very high-end market. And we've heard about all the shipping issues and that. They actually fly their cheese in.
So they're getting around that, and they're still getting the product
instead of worrying about container ships. And that is one of the things actually Secretary Vilsack did also touch on, is port issues and really getting our agricultural products out. I mean, dairy is growing their export despite all these issues right now, which is fabulous, really.
How important are trips like this, though, for yourself? You had some other dairy farmers with you, people representing various parts of the industry, to actually be there, shake those hands, make the connection.
I think no matter what we do in this world, relationships matter, and it works both ways. People want to see the people behind that make the product, but I think it was also good to have those dairy farmers on that trip to come back and say, here's what we're doing, here's what the U.S. Dairy Export Council's doing, and there were a lot of different Wisconsin-based cheese plants and processors that were working with that trip as well.
Well, a lot of these topics expanded on in Hoard's. You can visit their website for extended coverage. It's hoards.com. Be sure to sign up to get some of that right in your inbox for some daily nuggets from Corey and his team. Thank you for being here.
I'm excited and great.